right, welcome to the Wednesday, May 26, 2020. Okay. 6th meeting of the East Long Meadow Conservation Commission. At this time, I need to ask if anybody in the attending audience is recording the meeting. If so, please raise your hand and identify yourself.
Nobody.
Nobody? Okay.
Turn up your volume a little, Craig.
Pardon me?
Turn up your volume a little bit.
All the way up.
There, that's better.
Okay. All righty. First item on the agenda is approval of the May 12th, 2021 minutes. Yeah, we have people here. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the May 12th, 2021 minutes. I looked at them. I didn't have any changes.
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Will?
You're on mute.
Yes.
Okay. Tony?
Yes.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
All righty. Next item on the agenda was a request for certificate of compliance for 5 Bella Vista Drive. There was a letter sent in saying that it's in compliance from Mike Smith of Smith Associates Surveyors. Comments from the commission?
Appears to be non-jurisdictional, so.
Mhm. I would tend to agree, so I'll entertain a motion for issuing the certificate of compliance for 5 Bella Vista.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? No. Hearing none, we'll move to the roll call vote. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Will?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
And Jeff?
Yes.
And I'm a yes vote also. Next item on the agenda was a request for certificate of compliance for 19 Skyline Drive. I believe there was also a letter from Smith Associates sent on this request.
Yes, there was.
Okay. Any discussion from the commission? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the certificate of compliance for 19 Skyline Drive.
So moved.
Second.
All righty, moving to the roll call vote. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Will?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
And I am a yes vote also. Next one on the agenda was a request for certificate of compliance for 7 Broadleaf Circle. And this one also, there was a letter from Smith Associates in the file.
Is this Jennifer in the audience? On this, is this her item? I got a list of attendees who are going to be called, but I don't have them correlated to the to what number. She has her hand up.
John, she was for the first application, so she doesn't need to be brought in for this one.
Okay, all right. I'm just asking. That's why. Thanks, Rebecca, for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yep. So there was a letter for 7 Broadleaf Circle, incorrect? I didn't pick up that second package, but
Yes.
yeah,
And basically, this is non-jurisdictional also.
also, yes. So I will entertain a motion for approval for the request of the certificate of compliance for 7 Broadleaf Circle.
So moved.
Second.
All right, moving to the roll call vote. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Will?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
And I am a yes vote also. Next item on the agenda was a request for certificate of compliance for 7 Clover Lane. Pretty much the same circumstances as the previous request for certificates of compliance. Is there any discussion or anything from the commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the certificate of compliance for 7 Clover Lane.
So moved.
second,
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, roll call vote. Elizabeth,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Tony,
yes,
Jeff,
Yes.
and I am a yes vote also. All righty. Next item on the agenda is a notice of intent for Lot 3, Hidden Ponds Drive. If we could bring Al Joyce into the meeting, and Jeff, if you could read this into the record, please.
This is a public hearing. This is case NOI 20-20 or 2021-4. Request or notice of intent for Lot 3, Hidden Ponds Drive, Assessor's Parcel ID 23-77-3, Mass DEP file number 150057, for the construction of a single-family dwelling and associated work within the 100-foot buffer zone. Applicant Redstone Ponds LLC, PO Box 79, East Long Meadow, Mass.
Wow. You know what? I just noticed, being a resident of the development, and Elizabeth has clicked off and is needed to recuse. Oh, we're all set. We do have the quorum. Sorry, I forgot
Yes.
that Tony's not there.
Yep.
My bad. Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Yep.
You have the floor, Al.
You're on mute.
There we go. Good evening. We filed the NOI because the original plan for the subdivision established a limit of work line for this lot. This is the lot known as lot number 3. It's got the retention infiltration basin on this lot. And on the original notice, it showed grading, which we're not changing. It showed the limit of work line, but it didn't show a house. So we filed the notice of intent just showing the proposed house that we're going to build. Craig, you look confused. Is this surprising?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, okay, maybe I was wrong. So it's kind of simple. We're not changing any grading. The original, if you look at does everyone have a copy of the plan that was filed with the NOI?
Yep.
Okay, and the only difference between this and the original plan is the footprint for the house.
Yes, I was going to state that in there. The original notice of intent filing for the development was just to confirm the delineation and the location of the paved roadways. Separate notices of intent were filed for all of the dwellings. Some were a few houses, 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 in a specific notice of intent. This notice of intent happens to be just for one. But yes, there has been no NOI or anything filed showing a house for this lot number 3. We did go out and look at it the other night. The limit of work markers were in place. The erosion controls have been maintained over there. At this time, I guess I would like to open it up to the public if there isn't any comments out there. If anybody's in the public and wishes to comment, please raise their hand.
I don't see anybody, Craig.
Okay, I know we did get some comments from an abutter, but
Hang on. There is someone with a hand up. John?
You're on mute, John. I believe John is here with Mrs. Scanlon.
Yes, yeah, I don't think you folks can see me. Mrs. Scanlon just had a couple of questions. One is, will the repositioning of the house or the current position of the house, does that cause any concern as far as water runoff that might end up in her backyard? She's had an ongoing issue with water for years, and it does seem as though it has gotten a little bit worse since the development started, but we can't say that that can be directly attributed to the development. Is the house any closer than the original intent that might cause problems of that sort?
Hi, John. Essentially, the original intent did not have a lot there, but what we're charged with on the commission is to make sure that a house like this can get built and not alter things. I will definitely say there has been a number of issues on this particular project, but the Conservation Commission has been quite diligent. We've probably done over 150 site visits at this project since it has started. The infiltration basin was just redone because of some issues that we had with that. And then there were some earlier issues with the Red River runoff, as we were referring to it as. But I would say we pretty much have that situation corrected. And I would, in my opinion, as soon as we get this house put in and have grass there, and then the erosion controls can be removed, it should actually be better. It will be better than it is right now, but we're not really experiencing runoff, but it will be back to the original condition. And so that runoff coming down from there should not be an issue.
Okay, did you hear that? They're not anticipating an issue with additional water
Yeah.
coming in.
Okay.
All right, she's nodding her head yes. You know, we have to trust you folks. You're the experts with this, and we just want to be sure that this might not create some sort of problem or exasperate her existing issue with water, which has been in existence for years.
Yeah, then, that is a public easement back there, and there is a culvert that crosses up on the street it's not Redstone Drive, is it? Where that
That's
culvert crosses?
Redstone Drive. That is Redstone Drive.
Okay. There is a culvert that crosses up on Redstone Drive adjacent to this parcel that Mr. Joyce has developed that there has been some issues with, and I know the DPW is going to be looking at doing some things with that. But you could definitely inquire with them about that if you would like to.
Okay, I don't think we need to do that. I guess we just wanted some assurance that every precaution was being taken to avoid runoff or further runoff than she's already experiencing.
Yep, that's our job, John.
All right, you okay
But
with
we
that?
appreciate you coming and asking the questions.
Yeah, well, anyway, Mrs. Scanlon's nodding okay, so we're good.
All righty. Thanks, Turnsey.
Yep.
All righty. I guess I will ask again at one more time. I see another person that just popped up into the audience. If there are any more public comments regarding the development of Lot 3 at Hidden Ponds.
Yeah, there's a little delay, huh?
I believe Tina that's in the audience and attendee is in a butter. Yep.
Thank you.
You're on mute, Tina.
This is very slow for everybody.
Tina, you might have to hit Alt-A on your computer. That's what I had to do to take it off mute.
Or Tina, on the lower left, if you go down way in the left, bottom left corner, you'll see a microphone symbol pop up with a red line through it. You can click that and it will unmute that way.
Can you hear us, Tina?
Should be all set.
You have any questions, comments, Tina? We seem to have just lost her.
Well, she may be logged off. She maybe will try jump in again, Craig.
Okay. At this point, I'll bring it back to the commission for comments.
Are you going to wait before you close the public hearing?
Yes, yeah, I was gonna, yep. Yeah, we went out, looked at it. I really don't have any issues with it. The erosion controls have been in place where they've been. And somewhat recently, I would say the permanent limit of work markers were installed. We saw those on Monday. You know, until I don't have any issues with this notice of intent. Any comments from anyone else on the commission?
No, it looks fine.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
One comment I guess that I would have based on our site visit out there, and I'm going to say, Al, I would assume some of the of that entry and exit way that is now being used there is for that house, as well as the work that is done on the basin. But frankly, it's disappointing that we still can't get a proper tracking pad installed. That tracking pad is maybe 18 feet long and doesn't cover the entire width. We're dragging sediment out into the street still.
We've been doing a, I know what you're saying, we've been doing a pretty good job keeping that street clean. Anytime debris of any sort gets into the street, we sweep it. And as soon as we get the lots paved pretty quick for the driveway. We can bring in, when we do go to build on that site, we bring in a full load of stone when we do build on it. We aren't doing anything there right now.
Well, there's the truck parked on there that was there on Monday when we were out there.
Well, there are some trucks that do park. That's a convenient spot. They were parking on the corner lot. I can have them drop up. Then I'm glad you brought that up, Craig. I'll call tomorrow and have Rosati drop a load of stone there, and we'll get that spread out.
Yeah, because and I know you're sweeping the streets, but as we still go there on site visits and looking at the pond, there is still plenty of sediment flowing off the street into the basin every time it rains, because it gets into the cracks and crevices in that rough pavement, and you just can't get it up with a sweeper. So, but like I said, it is just disappointing that we still have to see tracking pads like that and have to talk about it after 2 years. I don't see Tina coming back into the meeting. I'm assuming, hopefully we addressed her questions. Is there any other comments from the commission? Hearing none, I will.
All set.
Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion for the approval of the notice of intent for Lot 3 at Hidden Ponds.
Point of order, Craig. We need to close.
Oh,
the
yeah,
public
sorry.
hearing. We have to close the
thank
public
you.
hearing.
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
There's a
Second.
second. Thank you, Tony. All
Second.
right, roll call vote. Will,
Now
Yes.
we can make the motion.
yeah, Tony,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
and I am a yes vote also. So, okay, we're good to move along with that, but since you're here, Al, I would like, I guess, I'll entertain a motion to take the agenda out of order so we can discuss a project monitoring item that's not on the agenda based on the email that Mr. Joyce sent in with pictures of the basin reconstruction. Well, it's actually not out of order. It's under project monitoring. So we are okay to go. We
Oh.
saw your email.
Well, new business is before, so we would have to take it out of order.
Oh, new businesses? All right, I'll entertain a motion to
I'm
take it.
confused, Craig. Did you vote on the NOI? Was that a vote?
Oh, no, we didn't. Thank you, Al. Gosh, I'm getting all confused here. Yes, all we did was close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to approve the notice of intent for lot
moved.
3. Is there a second?
Second.
All righty, roll call vote. Will,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes,
and I am a yes vote also. All right, now I'll entertain a motion to take the agenda out of order to discuss a project monitoring topic of the retention basin at Hidden Ponds.
so moved.
There's a
Second.
second. Thank you. Roll call vote again. Will,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes,
and I am a yes vote also. So we received your email, Al, regarding the work on the basin.
Yes.
And I guess I had some questions about it. I don't know about other members of the board, but we were supposed to be seeing a plan from Levesque regarding elevation changes and other recommendations out there. And then all of a sudden it's done without the commission being informed about it.
Well, he did give us the report saying that the grade was incorrect. And and then you had mentioned in a previous meeting that you wanted compost, so we took care of both of those. But I don't know what else, he inspected it. I don't know, I don't know what else you wanted from.
Okay.
Believe.
Well, if there's a report about the grade, the commission, I do not believe, received it.
Well, there was nothing during the last hearing. He mentioned that during the hearing.
He mentioned that he needed to go out there and check the elevations.
Oh, well, then maybe he just, I can have him go back out there.
All we heard was he needed to check the elevations and he was going to get back to us with a report. They were also going to observe it after there was some rainfall after the cap being put in.
You know, there hasn't been a ton of rainfall, but he did say he was gonna monitor it.
I'm aware of it, and we tried to get them out there a couple times when we had some rain, but it hasn't happened. I guess a couple other questions I had in your email. You said you removed the dirt out and then mixed compost in it.
Yes.
Was there anything done to separate the red clay that's gone in there?
It was everything we pulled out was topsoil.
So you're saying there was no clay in there?
Even even if I had mentioned before, if you just scraped the top of the topsoil, it was topsoil. There was no red clay. Even though the water that goes into the basin looks colored, it just got a microscopic amount of sediment in there. There was no clay in any of the topsoil. There was no clay on top. It just didn't have any.
I don't know. I would beg to differ because it is fine particles, and it's been flowing in there for 2 years. And just for the record, I did not ask for the compost to be put in. That was on the original drawing that the compost was supposed to be put in.
Yes.
And
correct.
evidently it wasn't.
Correct.
How do we know the grade is correct now?
They shot the grade on it. The grade is supposed to be right at the bottom of that, the cap on the control structure, and that's where the grade is now. And when Bradway shot the grades, I mean, and that's where they determined it would be. We do have, when we're done with the subdivision, we do have them go back out again and they check grades on every little thing. They check grades on everything. They're gonna, our Levesque is gonna go out and shoot grades on every structure and on every part of that subdivision. And if everything in there isn't to spec, then we don't get approval on the subdivision.
So Levesque will be providing a letter saying that this basin is constructed as it is supposed to be.
Absolutely. And without that, we can't proceed. Without that, we don't get subdivision approval. I've got a substantial amount of money deposited with the town. We don't get that money released until the town engineers agree that everything was done per the plan.
Okay. And so Bradway was the one who shot the grades this time to do the grading in there.
Yes.
And he was the one who did it the last time also, correct?
Yes, and then apparently there was just some settling on one end where it settled. There were several inches of settling. It tipped from one side, like the easterly side, the grade was good, and then it sloped down 7 to 9 inches to the left. Either it settled, there could have been some settling from when they first put in the basin.
7 inches of settling?
That does seem like a lot, but all I know, the grade was off. You could see that because whenever it rained, there'd be one end of the basin that was dry, and then afterwards there'd be one end of the basin had a puddle in it. And it would puddle on the westerly side. So,
That was Felipe's comment also. We thought the grading was off when at the last meeting where he was present. He said it needed to be rechecked.
And I guess the other concern that I have that we did this work, and I saw nothing in your email that the stormwater system in the streets that obviously has a significant amount of sediment in it was not cleaned out. And so that's going to continue to flow into the basin.
actually, we look in the basins. There's not much sediment in the street. We look in the catch basins. We look in there. There's not much.
Wow.
It just when I had Rob Levesque went out there, and he looked at it, and I mentioned to Rob that the Conservation Commission says it had a lot of issues with the color of the water in the infiltration basin. The very first thing he said was that it looks a lot worse than it is. And that's it's just a little bit of tint to the water. But if you look the proof is in those catch basins. There's only a few inches of sediment, and those catch basins are designed to hold up to 3 to 4 feet of sediment, and there's only 3 to 4 inches of sediment in the basins.
And when was the date that Rob was out there looking at this?
That was I don't want to guess on that. That was before Philippe went out. That goes back to the very first the hearing. I think it was back in January. I don't know. I'm not good with dates. Back in the hearing we had where you wanted Levesque to go out, Rob went out like 2 days later to look at it. Whatever date that was, I don't know now.
Okay.
I can find out. He had sent you some emails. The same time he sent you emails on it.
Yeah. And I've just been, okay. Because, and we have noticed that since the cap was put in, we've had some significant rainstorms, and there's been no water coming out of the basins. When according to the stormwater report, there should have been some.
Well, I think there'll only be water come out if the water fills to the top of that structure. That would take a big event for the water to fill that high. I think it would take either a significant storm or several storms, one after another.
Are you referring to fill up the catch basin?
The structure in the infiltration basin that controls the water that drains out. That would have to fill to the top.
I beg to differ with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Either.
If it's, and yes, I mean, and even at our meeting, Levesque was stating how that during rainstorms, water will be coming out of there. I mean, it does not have to be a massive amount of rain for water to be coming out of there. If you get 1.5 inches of rain in I believe a 24-hour period, there's going to be water discharging from that basin, according to the stormwater report. I mean, and that was discussed at the last meeting. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how the basin is functioning right now. But some of these statements from you and these previous observations, and we're not cleaning the stormwater system out. And it was even stated at the last meeting with Philippe there that yes, the stormwater system and the pipes everything would be cleaned out before this work on the basin was going to happen. And it was also stated that the commission was going to be informed of it. Frankly, I was shocked when we got that email from you and we were not informed that it was happening.
I thought you would be pleased that we were doing it. I didn't know you had to be informed about that.
It was very much discussed at the last meeting. Trust me, I'm happy it's done now, but I would, it would have been good for the commission there to observe this.
All right.
Because I'm sorry, but it's difficult for me to have a tremendous amount of faith in the people that did the work this time because they did it last time. And so how do we know it's correct? I didn't see any stakes out there. I know maybe they went out and shot it with the transit and did it, but based on the way things have been, no, we need confirmation, and I don't have a lot of confidence in it.
They had stakes and grade lines.
Okay, they weren't there when we were there on Monday, and I didn't notice them in the pictures. This picture right here, no stakes in there. All right, I'll stand corrected. I see a couple in this other one, bigger picture. My apologies, I do see it, but, and frankly, yeah, I'm concerned about the fact that this soil was reused with the amount of red clay in there, because frankly, I disagree with your statement that there's a microscopic amount of red clay in there when it's been flowing in there for over 1.5 years. And if you look at the outflow pipe coming out from the street that goes into the basin, you can see where the red clay is stuck to the walls of that basin up just under halfway. It's 8-10 inches deep in there where red clay is stuck to that pipe. And so that is not my definition of microscopic. Maybe yours, Al, but it's not mine.
Oh, that's it. When you're in the basin, the bottom of the basin, if you dug down a hundredth of a millimeter, you reach soil.
1/100th of a millimeter.
There was soil right to the top. There wasn't even a coating of clay.
Well, I beg to differ that, Al. We have pictures of a coating of clay on it.
If you just scraped the surface, you're at topsoil.
Well, then obviously it's small enough so it's filtering down and filling in the pockets of the larger size soil that's in there. So there is definitely a presence. It didn't all stay on the top and nothing seeped down into the soil. Or are you going to say it all stayed on the top, even though it's microscopic?
Well,
None of it went down in there.
It looked like very good topsoil.
Looks can be deceiving. But all right, we'll wait and see some more information. Anybody else on the commission have any comments about the basin?
Not at this time.
All righty. Thank you for your time, Al. Good
Thank
luck
you,
with lot
everyone. I
3.
appreciate it.
Thank you. All righty. I didn't print out a copy of the agenda. What was the new items that were on there, Jeff?
Under new, we go back to new business. It was to vote in ratification of order of conditions for
Oh, yep. Thank you.
86 Somerville Road.
Yeah, okay, I have that one, yep. Yeah, I did look at those order of conditions. They seem fine to me.
Yeah,
Did
they
anybody
look
have
good.
any comments?
No, I thought they were good.
Did you want to add any more special conditions? I just have our normal 16, I believe. And I added the one that Jeff suggested a couple of meetings ago about the spacing out of the flags, I think.
Right.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
noticed. Yeah, the permanent limited work markers, yeah.
I didn't have anything else. Anybody else on the commission?
No,
No, sir.
All righty, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the order of conditions for 86 Somersville Road.
so moved.
Second.
All right, going to the roll call vote. Will,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Jeffrey,
Yes,
and I am a yes vote also. Project monitoring now. Purvis Street, I did get a text from the plant, and he was saying that he would have somebody over there and fix that. I didn't drive by and take a look at it yet, but we'll get by in the near future to take a look at it, but I would assume it's pretty good. I mean, it's all set. Bill's usually very diligent about that.
Well, I don't know about that. I went by there the other day, and now there's no erosion control, and it looks like it was filled in with some stuff.
Where was that? Out by the street?
Purvis Street. Yeah. Couple, last week it was still gone, well, damaged. It was falling in. Now I went by there the other day, and I don't even see any erosion control, and it looked like maybe it's just me, but it looks like someone pushed some more stuff in there.
All righty. I'll send Bill another text and we'll see what happens. If nothing gets rectified in the near future, I guess we'll go the letter route. 21 North Main Street. I saw the letter that came in. Looks like that is moving forward okay. Questions or comments from anyone?
No.
Took them long enough. Jeez. 3 months.
53 Tanglewood. Elizabeth, Jeff, and I were out there yesterday. One of the trees looked like it had some issues. Other than that, the other ones appeared to be okay. I guess, so I wouldn't have an issue with removing the enforcement order and saying they're in compliance. My only comment about this one is I don't believe we did a good job as commissioners on this enforcement order as we did on other ones. We'd have definitely been better off if we had them plant some higher trees. We actually allowed a few 18 to 24 inch high trees here. So just in the future, I think we should keep it in mind that we need to have at least 6 to 8 foot high trees. So the canopy and that sort of thing can be replaced as quickly as possible.
yeah, the trees were definitely way too small.
Yes.
Greg, can we get a vote for if the commission wants to remove that enforcement order so I can put it into a letter?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up, Bethany.
I'll entertain a motion for removal of the enforcement order for 53 Tanglewood Drive.
So moved.
Second.
All righty, going to the roll call vote. Will,
Aye.
Tony,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
I am a yes. Oop, Jeff,
Yes.
and I am a yes vote also. Next one we had was 0 Grove Ave, Baldwin Street. Jeff went out there and took some pictures and sent them in. I don't know if they needed a comment back from us saying that it was okay, but it looked fine. Any comments from any commissioners on that?
No, they did a good job putting in the silt fence.
Yeah, so if they need an okay from us to proceed, we can feel free to let them know that, Rebecca. But I believe they are proceeding with it.
I will contact the project manager and just let him know your comments tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody have anything else under project monitoring?
Just one thing I want to bring up. I was driving by looking at 116 Elm Street, and it seems to be filling in pretty well. That's along the Pecosic along Elm Street there, that one house. My only concern is I guess it's the nephew who lives there, the nephew of the owner. He seems to have vehicles parked very close to that stream all the time, or has car parts there, like a truck cap or something. And I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like the proximity of vehicles always being parked right next to that embankment is not a great thing.
I gotta agree with Jeff. It looks like a repair garage.
Yeah.
I guess
I mean, the bale of hays are still there.
the repair garage, I guess, is not our concern.
However, there are trucks parked right up against that bank,
Right
right next to the bale of hay.
Yeah, what I'm not sure about right now, and I guess we would need to look into it, because I believe that was all grandfathered from before, but I don't know that in our enforcement order, or I don't recall, I'm sorry, if we established a limit of work line there.
I don't recall that either, although we did have them do a restoration of that area.
I thought we did do that.
I don't know, but I guess if, I don't have that file obviously sitting here in front of me, but if Rebecca and Bethany, you could look into that one, 116 North Main Street. There was a restoration for the Pecosic.
Yeah, I'll take a peek around tomorrow and see what I can find.
Yeah.
It was done in the
2 years ago,
planting.
wasn't it?
It was last year.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, last May, June was, I think the orders of conditions were somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah.
Because we first noticed it in the fall of 2019.
How did,
Oh, it looks worse now than it did then.
in what way?
Huh?
In what way?
Well, I mean, with all the bale of hay and everything, it just, all those trucks and a car parked up against it just doesn't look good.
The hay, I guess, would be there until the growth is stabilized and can be removed.
Right.
And unless there's a limit of work line or something, there's really, I don't believe there's much we can do about vehicles being parked there.
Yeah. But there were trees planted, and I don't think those trees were very tall either. I think they were very small saplings that they planted. They couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 feet tall, but.
So then I guess we should just add this as a agenda item for project monitoring for our next meeting.
Yeah.
To review that. Anything else under project monitoring? Okay, moving forward. The next item was the conservation agent job description. Did we get anything on that, Bethany, or?
I had 2 up, and I don't know if I sent those out or if Rebecca did, but I can share my screen if that's easier.
Sure. I don't have it in my first packet, but it might have been in the second one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember getting anything on those.
I don't think it was circulated, Bethany, because we had discussed my comments about the mileage, and
Okay.
then I don't think we sent it further after that.
Okay, thanks. Dawn, can I share my screen?
You should be able to.
Okay. Okay, can you all see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this is one. This is the per diem one, so up to 20 hours per month. That number can be changed around however we need. This is a $25 per hour. I've just highlighted some of the changes, and so I wrote up 2, and I highlighted the differences between the 2. So I said conservation agent or consultant. For supervision, the agent will be required to operate largely independently in coordination with the Conservation Commission and the Planning and Community Development Department staff. The position is less than 20 hours per week, so they would not be receiving town benefits, also because they would be compensated from the Wetlands Protection Act fund. The position requires remote office work. That's only because we really don't have an office space for them in the town hall. However, we would require them to do on-site inspections in all types of weather conditions. Qualifications in this write-up, I had them at least have a bachelor's degree in a science field, preferably environmental science, botany, geology, ecology, or landscape architecture, and at least 1 year of experience working with a conservation commission or a land use regulation agency. Ideally, it would be great if they had a background in the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act. However, if they don't, that's something that we could provide training for, like we do for our new commissioners as well. They would also need to have their own, their personal car for use. We would be able to compensate them for mileage that they would incur from the site visits. That is specifically called out as something that could be covered under the Wetlands Protection Act fund. And then the general job description, I took this from some other job descriptions I saw in Massachusetts from other municipalities. But the general duties kind of sum up everything. They'd have to do field work, on-site, pre and post-construction site visits, paperwork, including reviewing applications for completeness corresponding with DEP and NHESP, drafting and typing up the orders of conditions, attending the Conservation Commission meetings as needed. I don't think they would need to be here every single meeting, but that's up to you all if you find that they are more needed during the meetings. Their hours can be adjusted to include that. Post-permitting activities, including inspection of erosion controls, follow-up monitoring and enforcement, and site inspections for a certificate of compliance, and then enforcement of order of conditions and associated paperwork and site visits to follow up on complaint calls. And then I just went over the physical requirements. I took the capacity to distinguish fine color variations from another ad I saw, because they would need to for the I think the wetlands identification, and also for flagging and that sort of thing, reading plans. And then minimal physical effort, but they would need to be able to walk and stand for possibly several hours at a time. And that's pretty much it for this one. I think the biggest change is the qualifications. So I'll go to the next one and then we can do questions. Okay, so this is the next one. This one's a little bit less, it's $20 per hour. This would be part-time, so the set number of hours per week. Everything else here is the same. And then qualifications, I said a college degree. Either Rebecca and I were thinking it could be either a graduate, a recent graduate, or somebody who's currently in their degree program, because that might open up possibilities for students who are in the area from UMass and that sort of thing, who are looking for a position of this sort to help compensate their kind of like an internship, like a paid internship. So they would have less experience, but they would have, I guess, the college classes to help. So I guess that's really the only change. Everything else is the same. So it's really just the qualifications and whether you want a set number of hours per week that would have to be under 20 per week, or if you'd like to just have them basically on call with an idea of how many hours per week or month.
My first question, and I forget what it's called, but since this is being paid out of conservation funds,
Mm-hmm.
Would the town be taking payroll tax out, or will he be signing that form that they're going to pay their own taxes on it?
1099.
Yeah, 1099. Thank you.
That's a good question. I would have to check on that.
Obviously, I think that would be a lot cleaner for the town if we could do that. But again, it depends on what type of position we ask for here.
Yep.
And my first look at it would be, I'm thinking option A,
Okay.
because of the much less amount of activity in the winter.
Right.
You know, kind of like that email that I sent you with Rebecca with the delineations and that sort of thing that Agawam had.
Yep. The policy to not do delineations during the winter months.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, with exceptions they could, but for the most part, you needed to assume that they won't.
Mhm.
Did that go out to all the commissioners?
Yeah, we saw that.
Oh, okay, good.
That was included in the packet that I emailed, I think Friday or Monday.
Any other thoughts from the other commissioners? I'm open to anything. I just wanted to get something on the paper here to get started. And I will be adding under the special requirement that the mileage will be compensated.
Yeah, because I think any applicant would probably be the first question.
Right, right.
Yes, my first one too. In lieu of a college degree, 5 years experience on a conservation commission or something like that, serving on a commission.
Okay.
I don't know
So
about
either education and some experience or greater amount of experience to compensate. Okay.
Yeah.
I can change that. And anything else in the general duties that you think should be there that might not be there currently?
No, I think it's pretty complete.
Okay, George, you got the draft in? I'm not sure about resolving conflicts. I think that resolving conflicts is a responsibility of the commission.
Okay, I figured it's tough when you're out in the field, especially if it's for a complaint or a site visit on a complaint. There
Right.
might be some upset residents. You never really know what you're walking into. So that's why
Yeah,
that was in there. You'd want somebody who could handle that calmly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm thinking like Jeff, when the one in one old farm, or what was the one where they were the tree company was involved, and you were the first one out there, and it was kind of
That was Yorkshire.
yeah.
oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking of situations like that where like usually a commissioner might call the local police department and have somebody accompany them if they feel the need to. So just somebody who could handle that kind of situation.
yeah.
I mean, and I think one of the biggest things that, you know, that could help you folks in the office too, is having some of the paperwork, you know,
Yeah.
drafting orders of conditions and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and helping us with the site visits.
Right.
Wow. Tough to say right here, but we're not voting or anything on it, I don't think tonight, but I kind of like option A, the first one, better.
Okay. I will add I'll look into the tax information just to clarify before we make a move.
Yeah.
And add in the experience in lieu of the education. And so I'll just edit that and send it out tomorrow morning so you can read through it, and feel free to send in any questions, comments, edits that you think are fitting.
Okay, that'll be great. Nice job, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
thanks,
good.
Bethany.
All righty. Next item that we had on here was a Community Preservation Committee representative. We are one of the groups that is designated that we need to have a resident on the Community Preservation Committee that Francis was currently filling. Tony is a member at large right now, and I will go on record and say I don't want to do it.
Craig or Tony, could you maybe explain a little bit about what they would do?
What was that again? Did someone call me?
You want to know about CPC, and essentially CPC, they have the jurisdiction. People apply to the Community Preservation Commission for funds that are available from the town. That's that other line item on your real estate tax bill. And they need to be used for recreation or open space or
Recreational and housing.
and housing. Yes. Historical. So there are certain requirements for something that would actually fall under where they could actually get money from the Community Preservation Commission. So that's kind of like step one when somebody applies, if it is something that actually qualifies for CPC funds. And a lot of times with CPC funds, they are used in addition to a grant. And I know when I was on it for a period of time, that's what you did. Okay, we'll give you this much, go get a grant or raise some money for the rest of it. But other times the CPC has footed the whole bill for some other items.
Right.
So it's essentially, you know, being able to spend money. There's a significant amount of money in there. They do have some long-term debt that they elect to use as opposed to just shelling out all the money. They'd rather take a payment as opposed to handing out a couple $1 million or something like that. What's the balance now, Tony? You guys got like 4 or 5 million?
Rough idea. We're going to find out the next meeting, but we have quite a bit of money. There's 2 projects still bonded. That's the pool at, what's the name of that park?
I know.
Not here. I know. We still have about 5 or 6 years to pay off that. Let's see. We got Brown property.
Yep.
So those are the 2 outstanding bonds. I mean, if we were to go for something like, I don't know, extend the rail trail, that'll fall under recreational with the state and us. There's a great possibility right there.
Yep.
And that could be bonded, depending. You know, there's talk about heading north on the rail trail from Maple Street up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just so
So-
everyone knows, I guess this goes, I don't know if this would go under project monitoring, but I had a meeting. Okay, I'm just gonna read this out loud. So Don said there's a storm imminent, and if the power goes out at the high school, the meeting will end.
Okay.
But I did have a meeting last week with the state's Mass Trails team and the National Park Service team that we're working with through the other grant, as well as the some of the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission staff. So they were all really excited about the prospect of extending the rail trail, and it was really great to have all of those different people engaged at the same time. So we are looking to move forward with the extension of the rail trail, and it's a possibility going north, connecting with Springfield, because Springfield is trying to move towards East Long Meadow, and that's in progress. But Enfield in Connecticut is also interested in connecting with East Long Meadow, so it's also possible that we could extend to the south. So those conversations are in the works, and hopefully I'll have more to update with you soon.
Okay. So, and essentially they meet about, I'm going to say, 6 times a year, every other month. If they obviously don't meet as frequently as we do. There are a couple of mandatory meetings where the state or the town needs to be notified of exactly what the status of the finances of the Preservation Commission are.
Right. We're meeting right now once a month. There's a possibility we might not meet this summer unless something important comes up. But right now we meet the first Thursday of the month.
I will entertain a motion to nominate Elizabeth to be the community preservation representative for the Conservation Commission.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
It's fine. I'll do it.
Is somebody getting railroaded?
Probably, but I was going to offer anyway. It's all good.
Okay.
Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to the roll call vote. Will,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
and Jeffrey.
Yes,
Yeah, and I am a yes vote also. Thank you, Elizabeth. It
Thank
is
you.
kind of a fun one to be on. And if you could send Frances an email or something, she has a whole binder of information that I had from when I was on it.
Okay, cool.
We'll just get it right over to you, I'm sure.
She's actually she's bringing it by next Wednesday, so I can put it in your packet, Elizabeth.
Oh,
Okay, sweet. No worries. That sounds good.
perfect. Thank you. Anybody have anything under policies and procedures of the commission?
no,
Hey,
All right.
Craig.
Yes, sir.
Craig, before
Yeah.
you move on, there's a big storm. You want to take the meeting ponds?
It's
Hey,
not
watch it
like
flow.
now.
Grab your umbrellas and your kayak, and we'll watch the water flow. See if it's right.
All righty. Always a good time to go do a site visit in the rain. All right, anything else under policies and procedures?
I don't have anything.
Okay, hearing none, before we adjourn, I need to make an announcement to the commission that I will be sending in my resignation effective on Wednesday. excuse me,
Why?
Friday. I have a few emails to send out to tidy up a couple loose ends with Bethany, but based on some upcoming future activities in town, I believe it would be the best for the commission if I resign at this point. So I
Do
guess
you have to?
I've enjoyed my time on the commission, but you should plan on reorganizing the commission at the next meeting on the 9th.
That's gonna be fun.
Alrighty, at this
So we
time,
go,
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
so move.
There's a
Second.
second.
Second,
Alrighty. Roll call vote. Will,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
and I am a yes vote also. Thank you all for attending, and we made it out before the storm.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.